The endgame of the Kilpatrick corruption trial is playing out in yet another federal courtroom. Kwame Kilpatrick's attorney tried to sow the seeds of doubt in closing arguments, but the day was cut short when two jurors became too ill to continue. 7 Action News investigator Heather Catallo is live downtown. And Heather, we want to know, this has been a long day coming, so a lot of people are watching this very closely. What happened?
Well, of course, the legal teams had to end some of the closing arguments early, though I'm sure they'd rather have an attentive and healthy jury rather than one that does not pay attention because they're feeling miserable. But of course, that early exit capped off a day where the jury got to see Kwame Kilpatrick's family standing behind him for the very first time. Carlita Kilpatrick, Jonas, Jelani, and Jaleel came to court for the first time in the 5-month Kilpatrick corruption trial. The boys sitting behind their father as his lawyer made his final arguments to the jury. The ex-mayor's mother, former Congresswoman Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick, and his sister Ayana also watched the trial for the very first time. Jim Thomas urged the jury to acquit Kwame Kilpatrick and to let him go home to his wife and children, prompting some to question if Detroit's former first family was suddenly there for show.
It's expensive to travel, isn't it? And these kids are in school, so supporting their dad's an important thing at this point. I'm happy that they're here, but that wasn't something that I planned.
Thomas slammed the credibility of several government witnesses, telling the jury their testimony was bought and paid for by the feds. For more than 2 hours, he scoffed at the idea of billionaires like Tony Suave being afraid of losing money if they did not hire Kilpatrick's co-defendant, Bobby Ferguson, for lucrative city contracts. While his closing arguments lacked the slick production value of the government's presentation, Thomas took time to point out key witnesses and evidence, telling the jury they had a lot of reason to doubt. When it was Bernard Kilpatrick's lawyer's turn to make his final pitch to the jury, he only got about 10 minutes in when two jurors became too ill to go on.
It would have been worse had the juror not said, "I need a break." Then I got 11 instead of 12 paying attention.
John Shea will start over when court resumes on Thursday, delaying Ferguson's closing arguments a bit as well.
When they call a false start, you go back to the blocks and you get down there and you get ready again.
With this trial being as long as it has, for us to have only a day like this at the end of the trial is, I think, something we can all tolerate very well. And I'm the last person to talk about delaying the trial.
Now, the judge and the lawyers have all complimented the jury for staying so healthy during this lengthy trial because really, up until today, they had not missed a full day of court due to juror illness. Lawyers, defendants, reporters, you can't say the same thing. A lot of people have been sick throughout this time, but hopefully closing arguments will wrap up this week and then deliberations begin. Reporting live at the federal courthouse in downtown Detroit, I'm Heather Catallo, 7 Action News.